This is Fred Beck from Fred Fighting, proudly sponsored by Empire Fight Store. And today I'm very lucky, joined by Shane Watson from S Boxing. Shane, how you doing, mate?
All good, mate. How you getting on?
Yeah, I'm all good. So I was watching an interview you did a few couple of weeks ago. And you're in Vegas in December. How was that?
Yeah, no, it was good. Yeah, I was over in Vegas with Joe Joyce in his training camp. For the time, we were meant to be fighting Manuel Shah. Yeah, it was good to get over there, watch him spar, watch him train under Ismail Salas, who for me is one of the best trainers of all time. Yeah, it was good to go over there. Nice to get a bit of sun in December. It's rare that I get to see a bit of sun. Usually it's doom and gloom. But yeah, it was good. It's good. I was over there for quite a long time, 3 weeks or so. Then I flew over to Mexico because my American fighter Darius making his debut in Mexico. Then came back for Lorraine winning the world title in Manchester, Lorraine Richards, and then got Christmas. So it was good. It was really good, thanks.
You're a busy man. Is it quite good of your job being able to travel so much?
You know what? So before Sam left, I didn't travel much. It was like domestic. It was around England. But now, ever since I took his role, yeah, it's better. It's better. Yeah, I get to travel a lot. I get to see the world. Maybe other places you wouldn't get to see if like if it was just holidays and stuff like that. And obviously, it's nice to get paid for it, I guess, as well. But yeah, no, it's good. It's good. Now I enjoy it. It's really, really good.
So how did you originally kind of get started with kind of get involved in boxing? So I believe you're part of the media yourself, or at the very start.
Yeah. Yeah. So I met a friend at uni called Pav, and we started our own media channel, PSP Sports. We used to go around interviewing fighters, interviewed like Mayweather, like Conor McGregor, interviewed everyone on there, man, really, like Fury, Joshua, everyone really. And then I worked for Boxing Social for a bit. Then this is way before Rob went there. It's way before. And then got a lot better since Rob joined it, a lot better. But it was way before. And then yeah, I went into there and then I got approached by SJAM, became the operations manager. This is like I'm 26 now, so I think about 3 years ago. And then I went from that to now being chief operating officer, so number 2 now. So yeah, no, it's been good. It's been a long roller coaster. I've been very lucky as well. A lot of luck along the way, but going on.
Okay, that's quite cool. How did you interview Floyd then?
So it was the first time I did it a few times actually. So Floyd. So when Javante Davis fought Liam Walsh, that was in London at the Copper Box. So he came over to a press conference. I interviewed him then. I didn't interview him fight night. I interviewed him again for Mayweather McGregor. So yeah, interviewed him then for the London press tour. Really nice guy actually. I've always kind of got on all right with him actually. Yes, interviewed him then.
Wasn't like a whole massive crowd of media trying to get a word of him though? How did you get in there?
Do you know what? I actually knew his media lady quite well. I knew her quite well, and I actually met him quite a few times as well. I don't think that's really what the reason is, but like, yeah, I knew his media lady quite well at the time. I don't know if he still got her. I haven't spoken to her for years. At the time, I knew her really well, and she's just like, yeah, just like a couple of minutes. Got like 3 or 4 minutes with him. Quickly, yeah, it wasn't like a long sit down one, unfortunately. But unless you're like Sky or BT, I don't think you really get those. But yeah.
Yeah, that's really cool. Saying you've interviewed Floyd Mayweather, that's really nice to say. But let's talk to me about your job, kind of managing fighters. How do you decide which opponent is right for the fighter at the right time?
Yeah, I mean it's difficult. It's difficult because when you manage fighters, you get fighters from all different crops of amateur background, pro background, stuff like when you sign someone like Joe Joyce, should have been an Olympic gold medalist. Obviously, he's got all the attributes to go into the program and just dominate straight away. So he doesn't have to go in there in your 6 rounders and 4 round against journeyman. Like his debut was Ian Lewison, who was world ranked at the time and everything. So it was like a big like dive straight in there against a guy that went 10 rounds with Dylan White, I think in the fight before, it might have been or the fight before that, I think, for the British title and whatnot. So you can fast track those kind of fighters because they don't need to fight these journeymen if it doesn't benefit their career whatsoever. They don't need to learn these learning rounds and learning sparring. He's already pretty much done all of that. So you can just go straight in the deep end, really. And then you get other fighters like Johnny Fisher, and you need to take a bit slower with him. He doesn't have the amateur background. So he's doing all of these learning sparring and actually in the ring on the night. So you just have to slow the process down a little bit about how fast you move them and obviously communicate with the trainer and whatnot. And let's do little step up. So Johnny Fisher's last opponent was Alvaro Herrero, this guy that fought for the Spanish title. And now he's fighting the guy that actually won the Spanish title against Herrero. So it's that small step up every time. He learns on the job that way. That's who I've actually just told you. Johnny Fisher's fighting. I just realised that. But yeah, Johnny Fisher's fighting.
I was a bit surprised then. I was a bit surprised, thinking, oh wow, I didn't know that.
Yeah. That's it. Exclusive.
Exclusive.
Yeah. But yeah, he's fighting the guy that beat Terrero for the Spanish title. I'm not going to try and pronounce his name, but yeah, no, so he's fighting him. He actually went to points with Rivas and a few other guys, so he's durable. He's a durable heavyweight. I'm not acting like he's a world beat because he's not, but he's won a title and he's gone distance with world level fighters. So be a good little step up for him. That's what I mean, is having them little step ups and knowing when they're ready. Listen, we watch them spar every week, so you get a good idea where they're at. Like I've been watching Johnny spar Fabio Wardley a lot, very good accounts of themselves and stuff like that. So watch them spar Fury and all that stuff, so you know what level they're at. And yeah, so that's just what you got to do. That's just two prime examples, but you get fighters at all different levels. You need to monitor where they're at, and also you got to speak to them and tell you how they feel as well, because it's not just about where you think they're at physically, but it's mentally as well. Like Sol Dakers, he wants to go and fight Babic now. Like, but with Johnny, it'd be very different. It'd be like, mate, maybe in 2 years you're at that level, but now hold him here, and we'll see where he's at. Monitor fight by fight.
You sometimes find you have to hold the fighters back, and you make sure they don't go in like too far ahead of what they already are.
Yeah, it is difficult. Like Johnny wanted to fight Otto Vallin when Dylan White pulled out. Like prime example of like. Obviously, that'd be absolutely ridiculous. Like,
you guys at Sam Jones Boxing, you did make a few posters for that though on the Instagram.
Yeah. What we did about that as well, it was just a bit of hype as well. You got to do a little bit of hype, a little bit of chat, and whatnot. So that was what it was as well, get people talking. But generally, Johnny would have gone in there. He said, rather he ain't returning all them tickets. He said he ain't going to put through a Big John through that issue of putting all them tickets back. Probably write the geezer off. So. But yeah, no, he would have, and it's just, and that's not just him. They've got loads of examples. Fighters are fighters; they'll fight anyone. That's what they do every day, and they believe in themselves and they back themselves, so they believe they can beat anyone. It's about knowing how to hold them back and keep them back. Really.
Yeah, I've spoken to Big John Fisher a few times. He's a really nice guy, and he does all the tickets for Johnny. Obviously, it's his full-time job. He does the tickets at night time, and him to have to return all of those tickets would have been quite a lot of effort. But how many tickets has Johnny sold so far at Ali Penny?
So Johnny Fisher sold out every allocation he gets. So the problem is here, but we actually had to start telling fans to buy them off of StubHub and online and stuff. So what that means is, generally, if Johnny was given like an unlimited amount of tickets for this fight, they reckon they'd have done 4,000. But they actually only got given 2.5 and they've all gone. So he would have done, if it was like the O2 and like maybe it was on a smaller card, like maybe like the card that he fought on before actually, he probably would have done like 4,000. Because the ticket prices are cheaper. So when he fought on the other card, the ticket prices are really expensive because it's meant to be a Dylan White show. So like 500 quid for a ringside, but maybe not everyone could afford it. I think now a ringside's like 250. So more people could afford it. So now the numbers are like 4,000 people wanting tickets, but we only had 2,500. We had to start telling people to go on a StubHub or buy off other fighters. Start saying to go and buy off other fighters. So yeah, it's good. It's really good. Fan base's unbelievable.
I guess he's kind of doing the other fighters a favour by his fans buying their tickets as well. I remember,
I always advise that that fans do that because listen, you're going to pay the same price anyway. It's nice if you could go in fighters' pocket at the end of the day. Do you know what I mean? So yeah, exactly. Also, you're building them a little fan base. If they perform really well on the night, you might want to go and watch them again, mightn't you? So,
exactly. I remember something popped up on my Instagram. It was like 1 year ago today. I interviewed Johnny Fisher, and that's before he made his pro debut. And now he's selling how many tickets is quite impressive. But how many? I remember I spoke to Johnny Fisher at the what was it? It wasn't the Copper Box. It was York Hall a while back. I think it was with Westman Bill, Harvey Horner's boxing, and they went to support. And he was telling me he wanted to box there. How many seats are there at York Hall?
Oh my god, he's well oversold York Hall, ain't it? Like 1,800, isn't it? Like 1,800 or 1,600, I think.
You're gonna get him in there because the atmosphere would be really good in there.
You know, it would be, but like it ain't big enough. Like, I'm not being rude, yeah. Like imagine you got an undercard. How are they gonna fit anyone in? Like he's already oversold what the York Hall holds, yeah. I think obviously it would be great, like just for the atmosphere, like you said, but it would literally have to be him fighting on his own. But that probably works still. But no, I think that's actually probably the shame. It'd be nice if you could have like his first or second fight in there. Because probably not the first, because everyone went to come watch the first fight. It was like, oh, we got to go watch Johnny Fisher's debut. Then the second fight might have kind of died off. But because of the hype that Eddie's given him, the whole, and obviously being from Essex as well, where probably Eddie Earn's like a bit, that's probably one of the places he only liked by the fans. That they're all like, oh my god, Eddie Earn's talking about his one football gears, and everyone wants to be involved. He's sponsored by the whole of Essex, most sponsors I've ever seen in my life. Ridiculous. And like, so yeah, it's like he's just well outgrown the York Hall. It doesn't benefit Matchroom in finding York Hall. It doesn't really benefit Johnny, apart from the experience, of course. And it don't benefit the TV or anything, because they can make a lot more money out of it fighting on in a bigger arena. Like, you get a big main event that might not sell very well. Like, this is why I thought it might have been a Lawrence Cody card, because I don't think the Lawrence Cody fight was obviously going to anywhere near fill up the O2. So I thought what they do is slap Johnny Fisher on there, get him to do 4,000 tickets out. Then it might look like there's about 8,000 or 9,000 in there. Do you know what I mean? So it might look half decent, but they put him on this card, which I think would have sold well anyway, because Danny Jacobs and John Ryder's a great fight, and I mean they've added some other good fights to that card too. So, but yeah, but it's good. It's good for Matchroom, good for Johnny. But yeah, he can't fight in small arenas because they're one of the main attractions about him is his fan base. So it just kind of destroys that a little bit, doesn't it? So.
Do you think that's a little bit disappointing? He's kind of a victim of his own success here, because most fighters, they want to be able to box at York Hall, but Johnny, he's a victim of his own success and he can't. Do you think that can find that a bit frustrating, or do you?
I think he told me he thought there was an amateur. I might be making this up. I'm sure he told me he thought there was an amateur. He didn't have many senior amateur bouts, but he did have a few. I think he might have thought there. It might have been someone else that we managed, but I think he might have done. Listen, obviously everyone likes to fight at York Hall. AJ fought at York Hall, Fury's fought at York Hall, everyone's fought at York Hall. But you know, what can you do when you've got that? I don't think he's going to be complaining when he's carrying a fan base like that. Do you know what I mean? I don't want. I'd rather have out of two. So.
It's quite a nice problem to have. That it's quite a nice problem. But
listen, he's got a great new deal with Matchroom as well, which suits all parties really well. And this is credit to Adam Morley, who actually owns SJAM. So he got Johnny a great deal. So the more tickets he sells, much more money he earns as well. Because he's obviously he's person that as well. So it's great for him. And it's not just about the money. We don't think about the money all the time. It's not really about that. Listen. Just growing a big fan base is important anyway. Like moving forward, find high up in the cards, and like being a promoter's priority as well. It's important. So it's really, really good. And also, you just appreciate the support that people want to spend their hard money go and watch you. And it's not like they just come up and fight night. Every day on Instagram, it's like mad. Like these weird videos like Boss Shoulder, everything's going on. It's just.
Have you seen Big John Fisher's Instagram? It grows so fast.
Yeah.
Funny,
Big John. I'm doing this thing for DAZN tomorrow, right? DAZN and. Now, like, can we get Big John down? Big John's got to be on this DAZN video. I'm like, it's mental. It's funny. I love it. This is why the Johnny Fisher story is an amazing story. His dad's great. He's got a lovely family. His mum's lovely. His brothers are lovely. They're all doing this crazy thing. Johnny Fisher has his Chinese every night. It's all great. Do you know what I mean? It's all part of the funny story, and it's a good ride. And you know what? Who knows where this roller coaster is going to end up? And that's why I love it, because Johnny dedicates himself harder than any other fighter I know. Works relentlessly hard. So humble. And this could take him anywhere. And imagine someone like that when he won a world heavyweight title. No amateur background. Loves the Chinese. Dad loves the Chinese. Trains really hard. And he wins a world heavyweight title. It'd be mental. I'm not saying he's going to get there, but we hope he can. He actually trains like he will do. Listen, he's still a young man as well. So he's got a lot of years left of learning. He's learning a lot on the job now. If you see him in sparring, it's unbelievable, to be honest. But listen, if you're getting in there and giving good rounds to Tyson Fury and you're 22 years old, listen, he's got to be going somewhere. He's doing something right, do you know what I mean? So... But yeah, no, it's good. It's a really fun story. I really enjoy things like that because, like, you get like your very good amateurs, like I said, like your Joe Joyce of the world, or your Darius Faldrum, we've got in America, or Guido Vianello, who was in the Olympics for Italy as well, and we've got like Rome Richards was a good amateur as well. It's like, but you know they're destined to just do well in the pros. But you sign a guy that maybe didn't have the amateur career like the others, and look at him, biggest star of the lot. So yeah, but yeah, it's mad. But I'm really enjoying that journey. Really enjoying it.
Yeah, it's very true there. He's the biggest star of the lot at the moment. And when I interviewed Big John Fisher, I asked him about, has he got a Chinese sponsor yet? And he said no. So when are you going to get that Chinese sponsor for either of them, Big John Fisher or Johnny Fisher? Because that seems kind of like a must-have, a necessary. It's kind of unbelievable that no one's sponsoring them who owns a Chinese shop or anything like that.
Anything that works with Big John at the end of the day, I think Johnny Fisher needs to give him a wage for the ticket deal. Do you know what I mean? He needs to be sorting his that out. Being too tight, he needs to get his hand in his pocket. That's what he needs to do. Nah, I'm joking. Yeah, he needs to get some kind of Chinese shop out of him now, I guess. He promotes that unbelievably, but I don't know how I feel about that as well. You can't have a Chinese every night. Do you know what I mean? It's not good for anyone, is it? We need to keep Johnny Fisher Senior here. We don't want to lose him. So that means we got to keep him here. But no, he's good. He's doing really good for himself, to be fair, and he's doing well on TikTok and that as well. I think he'll only create a TikTok before he does a Chinese. That's unbelievable now. I'm not a TikTok fan, but I'll get random people come up to me in the street about him, like about him on TikTok. Everyone, like even at my mum's friends, who know nothing about boxing, but they know who Big John is. Mental.
Yeah, that's true. My college, people was like, Oh, you interviewed Big John. You interviewed Big John.
Even Johnny, like Johnny and his dad go out for like walks and that. They don't even come up to Johnny. They go up to his dad all the time and ask for photos. It's well funny.
You know, saying that he gets stopped loads and it's more difficult for him to go out for walks. But don't take too much time. That's one more fight I want to touch on. Florian Marku made the news the other day, obviously signing a new deal with Boxer. What's in the network for Florian Marku?
Oh, it's so exciting. Do you know what? When I got back, I couldn't even sleep last night. I was thinking about it so long, honestly. Like, it was like 3 a.m. and I'm like, what am I doing? Like, just go to sleep. But yeah, so we went down to Sky Studios yesterday. Really, really good day out. Really, really interesting. Florian announced his new multi-year deal with Sky. Great platform for Florian. We're up with Florian, which may be a bit different to other fighters, but Sky bring that pay-per-view platform. And Florian's fan base, as everyone knows, is obviously a little bit outrageous. He's got a massive following, a massive loyal fan base that follow him everywhere he goes. And he's going to be fighting in April, I believe, against a British level opponent. Been talking about a few names. I'm not going to tell you this one though. But so we're talking about a few names. So yeah, he's in a really good place and like could be fighting in Albania in the summer in a national stadium in front of 40,000 people, which would be outrageous. This is the kind of thing that Sky have given him, this kind of platform, this ability to do that. And it's just where he's at in his career, and he wants to fight a big name. He'll be ringside at Brook, put it that way.
Okay, that's quite good. You know who definitely have something to say when he's ringside at Brook. It's good promotion.
Yeah, I mean, I think for Florian, like where he's got such a big fan base, he can do well on pay-per-view and stuff like that. And where he's a bit controversial, he says some crazy things sometimes. It's what the fans want to see. He's got a bit of an all-action style. Doesn't always box to the best of his ability, like he did in his last fight. Let himself down a little bit there. Got a new trainer now, Grant Smith, who for me is world-level coach. Done unbelievable things with Sonny Edwards, obviously his son Dalton Smith. Unbelievable fighter, one of the best prospects in the country. Actually, the best prospect in the country, in my opinion. And there's a lot of great stuff going on down there. And he works on your feet a lot more, which is what I think Florian was maybe lacking slightly before, holding his feet for too long, taking too many shots. So yeah, really excited about Florian Marku. Great deal again. Adam Morley done that deal with Gren. Superb deal for Florian Marku, and he's going to have an unbelievable 2022. I can't wait for April. Then it's Ramadan, and Florian will be fasting for a little bit. Then we go into hopefully a good summer bout and get him up the rankings. I think he's number 12 in the IBF now. Get him up the rankings. That's what you got to do. Just get the right fighters, get him up the rankings, and see where the world takes you. This is another one. Like Florian's got ability and he's got combat sports background as well. Like, I think he had 120 kickboxing fights. I think he lost 4 or something. And he won every MMA fight he had by KO. And now boxing has gone well for him so far too. So like he's just got an all-action style. He's ready for it. He'll fight anyone. Honestly, the guy's crazy. He's absolutely nuts. Like, he'll fight anyone. But again, we'll make sure he doesn't just fight anyone. But he wants good fights. He wants to fight good British champions from the past. And he wants to fight that kind of level, British or world-ranked fighters. He doesn't want to go and fight like the geese in his last fight. Florian's poor performances come when he's stepping down a few levels because he has no respect for the opponent. He thinks he's going to just take shots at them. He thinks it's funny. Like, it's crazy. So that is why we're going to step him up. When he respects his opponent, he boxes a lot better. That's what we need him to do.
It's kind of like Billy Joe Saunders in a way. He always stepped up when the time was right, when the opponent was.
Yeah, it is, because you just need that respect. You need to go in the ring knowing anything that's not 100%, you're going to lose. So you have to go in there, you understand. He's going in there, guys. He knows he can be 30% against and still win. And that's not good. You don't want to go into a fight knowing that it's going to be that easy. It's like anything. It's like if you play a football match against some team that bottom eight, they're terrible. Like everyone's battering them, yeah? They're not going to go in there and think, oh, guys, we need to be on it today. Come on, let's get up for it. You're already thinking about the next game. You're laughing at them. We're not in you. And it's not good in any sport or anything in life, really. So yeah, we need to get him more respectable opponents that he respects, but bring the best out of him. So yeah, and it will be. I'm excited.
I like Florian Marku. He's able to mark himself appropriately as well. He's able to talk the talk and walk the walk. But Florian Marku's always been called out Conor Benn. I remember on IFL, he's always hit that commotion with Conor. I think it was when they were kind of partying in Eddie Hearn's backyard and him and Conor went at it. How far away do you think he's from that Conor Benn fight? Or do you think
we would fight Conor Benn 2 nights, yeah? I say we, Florian would, not me. Keep me away. But no, he would fight Conor. Honestly, he really wants that fight.
Because that would sell out the O2. That would 100% sell out the O2, wouldn't it?
It would do bigger than that, I'm telling you. Like, Florian alone would sell it out. And I'm sure Conor Benn's got a decent little fan base as well. it would do bigger than that because Florian and Conor will sell that fight on the press conference table unbelievably. Can you imagine when Florian's getting started and he's saying stuff like Conor ain't going to accept it? And then when they got to do a face-off, they don't have his face and it's kicking off. Unbelievable. That fight would be unbelievable. Both are big names. Florian's a bigger name worldwide because he's got bigger names. He's got bigger name, obviously, in Albania. There's a massive Albania following in New York and whatnot. A massive following in Kosovo and other places. Like he's a massive. The place where he's probably least known is probably actually England, and he's still well known here. But he's more well known everywhere else because of where he's fought in his combat sports career everywhere. Not so much boxing, but so yeah, it's just that would be a massive fight, and it's such a shame we couldn't get that fight made because the way I see it is right. We can look at Conor Benn's career, and yeah, he has definitely fought way better names, and that's not even arguable. But you're fighting guys that are 300 years old, yeah, that are way past their best, fighting people like Algieri, who got fucking almost got done by Tommy Coyle years ago, and Tommy Coyle was a lightweight, never fought a light welterweight or whatever, but he was tiny. And like, yeah, I almost had him out on his feet. And in I think round 2, it might have been. It was on the AJ undercard against Ruiz, won. And like, you're not gaining anything from ironing Algeria out in 2 rounds, or not. One day he's going to get put in the deep end, yeah? And he ain't going to know what to do because he's never had those step-up fights. But he should be fighting having Essin in that. He should be doing it. And like, for me, Florian Marku would be a good fight for him. Someone that's coming to win, someone who's got a bit of heart, someone who would give it his all. And he's going to make you the most money you've ever had by 5 times. And he wants to be fight. He said the O2 Arenas, he's home. Him fighting anyone else, yeah, wouldn't half sell out the O2. Not even half. We fought on that Liverpool bill, didn't he? Would it do 6,000? This is what I mean. Like, but yet you don't want to fight Florian Marku in front of a full O2 Arena. In England, by the way, we're not talking about fighting Albania. In England, at the O2 Arena, someone who's undefeated, got a world ranking as well. Before he said, no, he don't bring nothing to the table. Gone and got a belt, got a world ranking now. So, and then like, I just don't understand it. Like, there's obviously something that he doesn't like. I'm not saying he thinks that Florian Marku beats him. I don't know if he doesn't want Florian talking shit about him on social media for months, getting in his face at the press conference. Maybe don't want all that stuff. Maybe he just feels like he doesn't need him. And he doesn't really need him, I guess. There are plenty of other routes and ways that he can go, but it is a massive fight, regardless.
How do you think that fight plays out, though, Shane? How do you think that?
Listen, for me, I wouldn't back anyone against Florian because the way I see it is, right, Florian, no one's actually seen how good Florian is because, like I said, he's never really respected his opponents that much. The Maxim Prodan fight, which he still won, he was 19-0, 15 KOs as well. He actually really messed up his weight for that, and he had like tons of like energy food and stuff like that, but way earlier days. He was actually almost asleep in the dressing room before the fight. Like, it was shocking, absolutely shocking. Because you weren't allowed to get his nutritionist in or anything. That was really hard. It was really.
Greg Marriott, isn't Greg Marriott's nutritionist?
Yeah, but he wasn't allowed in for the fight. He wasn't allowed in.
But Greg's very well known. He's MDK nutritionist. Surely he should be in.
Yeah. They didn't let him in. So like the whole thing was just a mess and like really, really frustrating. And luckily he still got the win. Still won by a couple of rounds, in my opinion. Won on a split, but I thought it was a bit ridiculous. I thought he won by 2 or 3 rounds and got the win against a very good opponent. Knocked out Ryan Charlton before, stopped him, same difference. And then not the so impressive performance against Bizzetto, but I say didn't really respect him. But I know how good Florian can be. I've seen him spar world level operators like Brook, many other great names, and he's always done very well for himself. And listen, Conor Benn's a very good fighter as well, but it'd be different in there when Conor Benn's got someone that's coming in there that's actually coming to win, rather than be 38 looking for a payday, a bit slow, punch resistance is gone. It's a bit different. Look, we saw him against Granados, man. Granados was drawing fights against half journeymen, like 11 wins, 4 defeats in that, drawing fights, yeah. And then Conor could barely lay a glove on him. Listen, I know that Granados didn't come to win again. The fought side didn't come to win. But you're fighting someone knowing that, and he just ran around the ring and he didn't know how to cut the ring off. Didn't know how to cut off a ring. Barely landed any gloves on him the whole 12 rounds. Oh, 10 rounds, or I think 10 rounds, wasn't it? 10 rounds. So, like, it's the same thing. Like, Conor, what they've done is they've match made Conor Benn perfectly, so it makes him look unbelievable. He isn't even actually that big of a puncher. Like, he isn't even that big of a puncher. He can punch, but he's not a one-punch knockout artist. But they're getting him to fight people. It makes him like he is. And this is all part of the same thing that I'm talking about. But I'd back Florian Marku against Conor Benn for sure, and I think it would knock Conor Benn out. And I would never put my fighter into a fight that I didn't believe they could win. and I'd put Florian Marku in against Conor Benn because I believe he'd win. It's a very good fight. It's a very close fight. For me, it's 55-45. I think Florian Marku just edged it. I think, do you know why? Because he's got the heart. Nobody get me wrong. I think Conor Benn's got heart, but Florian would never be able to accept a defeat against him. You would have to kill that geezer to knock him out. You'd have to pin him down to that canvas with nails. He won't stop. And he can punch. And do you know what? Like I said, with Grant Smith, I'm really, really excited where this journey is going to go with Florian. I rate him highly. The only reason why Grant Smith doesn't get the credit he probably deserves as a trainer, because he's not so outspoken on camera. A lot of trainers like talking camera, it's fine. Like, get your name out there. Get your name out. That's what you do, isn't it? Get a bit of a profile. But he doesn't do that. I don't know, maybe it's because he's slightly older. I think maybe like late 40s, early 50s. He doesn't want to do all that. Maybe some people just don't like doing that, do they? So, but yeah, unbelievable. So I'm really excited for that journey now. Really, really excited.
You know, when Floyd Mayweather fought Conor McGregor, they did kind of that press tour. I think you'd be kind of silly if you didn't do a press conference in the UK and a press conference in Albania. You would have to do that though, wouldn't you? If Florian's going
I would not. I would fear genuinely for people's safety. Like, it would be electric. Do you know what? Albanians are great people, man. I speak to them every day because they message request me all the time on Instagram. And I try to talk to as many as I can. It's just good to keep in touch with the fan base. And it's really passionate about, not even necessarily about boxing. I don't even know anything about boxing. They're just so passionate about him. He's genuinely like royalty over there.
He is. Kids in my college, all my Albanian friends, they don't know anything about boxing. They always like, oh, so you do Florian? Do you know Florian? All that thing.
It's crazy, isn't it?
Like,
you go to the airport, there'd be hundreds of people just waiting there for autographs that follow him everywhere. It's literally like David Beckham over there. It's crazy. Like, I don't even know how he did it, to be honest. But yeah, no, it is insane. It is insane. Yeah, but it'd be great. It'd be great. I don't guess you need to do a press conference in Albania. He can fight anyone. The fight sells. He can fight a journeyman in the national stadium, and the national stadium sells out. They don't really care about the opponent. They don't care. I mean, obviously, it'd be even better if it is Conor Benn. Obviously, I don't think it's going to do any harm, put it that way. But yeah, I don't think you need to do that, really.
Well, I think a press conference in Albania, you definitely get some good highlight reels out of it, though, wouldn't you? It would definitely build a lot more hype if you had one over there.
Oh, unbelievable. Yeah, of course it would. Yeah. Listen, like you just said, that's worldwide. That's a massive fight. Like, that is a massive fight. And like I said, even if it wasn't a massive fight before, after that press conference, there would not be one person that wouldn't want to watch that fight. It's an unbelievable fight. All I'm saying is, I'm not mugging Conor Benn off here. I'm saying, if you look at his record, right, and he's got some very good names on there, granted, very good names, yeah? But where are they at in their career? Like, where were they at the time when you fought them? Exactly. And that's the answer to the question. Like, so you can't really go off of that too much. Like, if Florian went and fought, I don't know, I say Barrera came out of retirement and Florian fought him and knocked him out. It's not like, oh, well done, Florian, he's knocked out Barrera. I mean, the geezer's old. Like, you're not getting an old version. Like, and now I'm hearing about Conor Benn fighting Mighty Mo Hooker. It's just, what are you doing? What is that about? Why are you fighting him? You're saying you'll fight anyone. You're a baddest, why I look scared of him and it. Mate, why not fight Avanesian then? Why are you? I've never heard him mention Avanesian's name. Why is he not mentioning it? He's European level at the moment. Oh, he's not European level, sorry. He's European champion. Number 2 in WBC. And yet I can't hear him. I heard him talking about him before the Josh Kelly fight. And then he never heard him speak about him again. Then he dismantled Liam Taylor. Like, it's just straight up avoiding him, mate. They don't want to fight Avanesian. Listen, do not fight Avanesian. Listen, I wouldn't want Floyd fighting Avanesian either. Avanesian is a horrible, horrible man to fight, man. I'm about to go full Canelo there. Horrible fighter, but no, he's a nasty piece of work. A nasty piece of work. Like, he's got it all. He's got it all. I really, really like Avanesian, but don't like say that you don't want to fight him because he's not a name and stuff like that. Avanesian is 50 times the name of what Mighty Mo Hooker is, and that's included in the States. Avanesian beat Shane Mosley in the States. Like, I'm not saying he's some superstar, but listen, he's got a bigger name than Maurice Hooker. We're fighting a guy that got knocked out like welterweight. And got knocked out welterweight in his last fight by Virgil Ortiz, got flattened, like proper KO'd. It's just all a part of the marketing thing. And I get it, and I completely get it. Listen, if I was Conor Benn's manager, I'd probably do the same thing. So, but it's just a bit frustrating because I feel a bit bad for Evanescence. I do feel a bit bad for him.
You just signed that new deal with Frank Warren. I can see you really want that. You're a good talker. You should do I can't believe you don't get more interviews, because when I searched you up on YouTube, you hadn't done many interviews, and you're a great talker.
You know what it is? I've actually only been in this role Christmas Eve. Christmas Eve.
I'll
So
say
obviously,
Christmas Day. Christmas Day was a very good day then.
yeah, Christmas Day was lovely, lovely. Yeah, it's slightly better this year, but yeah. So I haven't been doing it long, and yeah, like with the whole Christmas transition period, yeah, obviously you're quite busy and stuff like that. But we'll be doing more. We'll be doing more. Unfortunately, people are gonna have to see this a bit more, but you know, we're here for it. We're here for it.
And you'll be at Ali Pally, won't you, on the 12th of February?
Yeah, yeah. I'll be at the Ali Paddy, Johnny Fisher, big night. I'll get them there from the Wednesday, I think.
Is
yeah,
the what day? Do you know what
Wednesday.
day the presser is? It will be the Wednesday.
No, the open workout Wednesday, presser Thursday, weigh-in Friday. Get them big old dusty gloves on Saturday, innit? So
Yeah, sounds good. Hopefully I'll be there. But Shane, well, thanks for your time. But where can people find you social media wise? Instagram, Twitter, anything like that?
my social media, so Instagram at Shane Watson SJam. So it's like spelled at Shane Watson's Jam. It is actually SJam. If anyone ever does think that's a bit weird. And I think my Twitter name is at Shane Watson 95. And I'm too old for Snapchat, so I don't have that anymore. So I don't want to get any weird pictures of anyone. So no Snapchat, but yeah, that's it for Instagram, man.
Awesome. I'll put your Instagram, Twitter in the description, but I'm sure we'll catch up soon. Ali Pally then, Shane. Hopefully
100%, mate. Take it easy, man, yeah?